Sup peeps, thanks for joining me yet again, or welcome to your first ever experience of me, Ian, and I sell books on eBay. I've got about 14 orders to run through, so I'm going to show you probably all of them, tell you what they sold for, all the usual stuff, and also just wanted to have a wee chat on why it is important, or why niching down could make the difference to your eBay business. Could, not will, but could. Depends what your aims are, depends what your goals are. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a little while. For now, let's have a look at what has sold on a Saturday. So it's Sunday morning at the moment, so these are Saturday's orders. And we are looking for here we go. That's what I get for not being clicked on the right page. Don't you love laptops? They're brilliant. Right, we've got Santa Montefiore, and I've just realised I've put these in the wrong order. What I meant to say was we've got them in the perfect order to run through. So it ain't Santa Montefiore first. She's going to come a little bit later, a couple of times. Popular today. First up, we have something that I haven't sold in ages. I mean, not in ages. And that is Stieg Larsson's Millennium Trilogy. The three of these, I say if I've had them listed for I don't know how long. I've got stacks and stacks of them, but I've only actually got a couple of the bundles listed, so I'll need to make up some more, see how many I've got, add those to the listing. But $9.99 for the 3 books in the Millennium Trilogy. Next, if you've been watching these, you'll know the other day I got given a few boxes of DVDs because shops just can't do anything with them. They were literally throwing them in the bin. So sight unseen says, look, if you want them, you can have them for nothing, but I just had to take the boxes, not digging through and picking out all the rubbish. Just took the lot. And there was a couple of decent ones in there, but there was also a sneaky wee pile of CDs at the bottom of one. This being one of them. Rammstein, what's it called? Rise, Rise. I'm assuming that means Rise. But that sold for £4, including postage. So, free money, essentially, which is always nice. Right, next, we've got 2 Lee Child books. These don't often sell in anything less than 5. I think I would 3 bundle, but today we have sold 2 of them. Make sure there's no more stickers on them. So 2 books, $9.99 for them. Very nice. Right, let's get on to our popular authors. Well, Lee Child is a popular author, obviously, but so is Ms. Nora Roberts. Now, until recently, I had, literally hundreds of these, but the listing that I've got, it's had a few good sales on it, which has increased momentum. So that listing is very, very active at the moment. The eBay algorithm must be looking at that and going, oh, when people click on this, it's got a very high sell-through rate, so it's making sure that more people get a chance to see that listing and they will keep selling. Which kinda takes me to the first point on the whole niching down piece. If you have a niche rather than selling lots and lots and lots of different things, then it's much easier to get that type of listing. So if you have one steel rule up for sale, it could sell really, loads of interest. Everybody wants that steel rule. Somebody goes on and buys it straight away. That listing's dead and gone if you only had one of them. If all you sell is steel rules and you've got 1,000 of these and you get a couple of sales on that listing, then suddenly it becomes of more interest to the eBay algorithm and will start to sell more and more and more. So the first part of niching down means that you're able to have more multi-listings, more listings where you've got more than one item within that. So once you start getting sales on that particular listing, the algorithm says yes. If somebody's looking for something related to that item, then we're going to give people the chance to go and view that one because it has a good sell-through rate. So one step before niching down is find stuff where you can have a multi-listing. So the guy that's got one steel rule, he may sell it, but if you've got 1,000, you'll sell one, then you might sell two, and then you'll sell three, and then you'll sell five, and you'll get that momentum. And there's a lot of people who have huge success with only one or two listings because they've got multiples of a fairly desirable item that just has a fantastic listing history, you know, for that particular listing as it is. And books are a brilliant example of that niching down, because if you're outsourcing second-hand books, as I do, then there's a good chance you will find multiple copies of single titles, so you can have multi-listings that way. And you can also do what I do with, you know, selling them by author. So Nora Roberts, all my Nora Robert books go into the one listing, and that gives people the chance to go in and say, I'll have that one and that one and that one. So if somebody goes into that listing, they visit it once and they buy 5 items. I know they said 5, that's 4, 5 items, which gives it a fantastic sell through rate and really builds momentum on that listing. So that's the first key thing about niching down. And it doesn't just relate to books or steel rules. If you're selling clothes, then do you have a particular types of clothing that you focus on? Say, you know, jeans and t-shirts. So you'll be able to have, you've got more chance that you'll pick up similar items that you can put together in these multi-listings and get more momentum going on those particular bits and bobs. Anyway, let's have a look at another little sale, which is another popular author, Harlan Coben. There we go, 5 Harlan Coben, hardcover, 4 paperbacks, so $13.99 for those. And then another author who comes in fits and starts. I haven't picked up many lately, I haven't seen many to pick up, but I found a few the other day, added them to the listing, and I don't think, well actually, Liane Moriarty, What Alice Forgot, was one of the new ones added to the listing, but then that meant somebody else went in and bought another 5 as well, so 6 Liane Moriarty books for $13.99. So now that that's had 6 sales from it, that will hopefully push that listing towards a few more people, and we'll get a few more sales. So when you're selling them this way, it means that somebody's not just buying one thing from your listing. It means that somebody's buying 5 things or 3 things or 4 things or 6 or 7 things. So that one visit generates 5 sales. So it's like a 500% sell through rate for that one visit, which more than compensates for a lot of others. Right, Dilly Court. Let's get her here. So Dilly Court, an author I discovered just a few months ago, you know, trying different authors, and she just sells and sells and sells. So $12.99 for 5 Dilly Court books, which kinda takes me into a second point about the niching down piece. When you sell just in a niche, then you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours picking through every single item in a shop to see if it's worth reselling. You go to where your stuff is that you specialise in and selling. So if I go into even some of the bigger charity shops in this area, the book section is relatively small. It will be a few kind of sets of shelves at most. It's never anything more than that, which means that you can look through them really quickly, and also you get the knowledge and the eye for what you're looking for. So I could not tell you off the top of my head the hundreds of authors that I've got set up in my multi-listings, but when I look across the shelves, I see them, I know that's what I want. I don't need to think much beyond condition, you know, make sure they're in good nick, and then they just get picked and put into a pile. I don't have to think beyond that at all. If anything else catches my eye, I will pick it up if it looks quite nice, but for the most part it's all about saying, right, I know exactly what I'm looking for, and as soon as I see it, that's going in my pile to buy. Keeps it dead simple. So sourcing becomes really quick and easy. Instead of spending, you know, hours every day potentially going through all the shops and looking at all the different bits and pieces, you look for the books, because that's what I do, and you grab the books. Again, if jeans are an easy example to use. If you're going to any of the charity shops, they'll have all their women's jeans together, they'll have all their men's jeans, trousers together. So that's just 2 bits that you need to go run through. You know the brands you'll be looking for, you'll know the quality you'll be looking for, you'll know the sizes you're looking for, so you can pick them out really quickly and move on to the next place. So you can, in the same amount of time as you would spend picking through 5 shops entirely, you could maybe get to 10, 15, 20, who knows, just going and looking through those particular parts and grabbing out what you want from those. Same if you're going to car boot sales or anywhere else, you can go around fast, grab what you need, get it listed, get it sold, make some money. So niching down, multi-listings, sourcing is a lot easier. Those are the first 2. Anyway, let's put Dilly down here. Dilly's down there. To have a look at the next. So Santa says 4, and I've only got 3 here. What am I missing? The butterfly box. Right, I've only picked up 3 of them, so I need to go and grab a copy of the butterfly box. But 4, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 Santa Montefiore novels, £12.54. And then a single book. You've got to sell some single books, haven't you? It wouldn't be a Sunday without a single book. And that takes us to L.J. Ross, really popular author. They sell really well. I mean, not crazy money. They're not like, oh, £10 a book or anything. This went for £2.70 plus postage, so £6.69 altogether. Its cover price is £7.99, so somebody's making a bit of a saving. It's in good condition. Condition's really important, especially if you're trying to sell single books. I find L.J. Ross, it is what it is. Pick them up when you see them. Right, this is a nice one. Now, I'm talking about multi-listings, you know, knowing which authors to pick up. These kind of sit out with that, but not entirely. So I discovered that there's certain vintage books that seem to sell quite well for reasonable money, and Leo Kessler has been one of those for me. I don't find a huge amount of them. A lot that I do see are just, they're too far gone, you know, really tatty copies. But I found these 3 kind of ex-library hardcovers, listed them up, as described as you can be. And what have we got? Blood Mountain, Deathmatch, the Hawks of Death, and the 3 of those have sold for £19.99. Now it is a multi-listing, so that helps, but I've never got a huge volume in that listing, so there's rarely a massive selection for people to pick through, which does inhibit how well that performs. But when they do sell, they sell for quite good money, you know, above average. So like I say, £19.99 for that lot. The £8 a book, but it's buy 2 get 1 free, so somebody's saving themselves £8 on that order. Leo Kessler, wee hardcovers, vintage war books. Right, Mr. Rankin. Now, 7 Ian Rankin books, which takes us to a third point with regard to niching down. Typically, as you've seen through most of these, I sell bundles of books. You know, it's buy 2 get 1 free, so that means that I sell 3s, and it's buy 3 get 2 free, which means I sell 5s with the occasional single thrown in. So these, there's another couple of orders today actually, but these are kind of the exception to that, which makes them more difficult and takes them out with the preferred niching piece. When you have niched down to particular products, product types, you know, I'm not talking about just selling the 1998 Reebok size 6 trainers. That's niching, but that's taking it way all the way down. You want to generalize. So if all you sell is single books, then it's very easy to have a picking and packing solution in place. You're going to need not a huge range of packaging materials, because everything tends to go into the same size thing, and because you can have your storage organized very uniformly, because all you're selling are books which come in pretty much 3 different sizes and that's it, then you can make that process really smooth, fast, easy. It means you don't have to stop and think every time you're going to do something. You just do it. You rattle it through. You know, you get the book, you wrap the book, you bag the book, you stack the book. That's your packaging process. When you're having to manage your packaging materials, so anyone that sells more than a few things a day will know that, right, what size bags do I need? Okay, I've only got a few of them left, right? What do I need to wrap them in? Do I need paper? Do I need bubble wrap? Do I need boxes? Do I need all these different bits and pieces? And if you've got 100 items listed and they're all different shapes and sizes, then you might need 100 different packaging solutions for all the listings that you've got. But if all you sell is jeans, then what do you need? You need bags of one size. That's it. You get them, you work out the best way to fold them, put them in, pack them, seal them, label them, and off they go. If you sell jeans, trainers, big winter jackets, then you're going to need potentially boxes for the shoes, bags for the jeans, bigger bags or boxes for the jackets, depending on how and what you're selling. So suddenly you've got 3 different requirements, and if you're selling those items of clothes, plus you pick up bric-a-brac, plates, mugs, ornaments, whatever it might be, then you're going to start needing lots and lots of different boxes for that size. But if you've niched down, you really do have very limited packaging needs, and the process becomes so much smoother, quicker and easier. And like I say, these are some of the exceptions where it's a bigger bundle like that. However, I do still have a packaged solution. It's just less convenient than grabbing 3 paperbacks, wrapping them up, putting them in a bag and sending them off. So that's another advantage of niching down. It reduces the complexity of your picking and packing process, as well as your stock storage process. Books are bulky for what they sell for, so you need a lot of space for them. But having said that, you can really maximise what space you've got because they're so uniform in size and shape. Anyway, £22.84 for those Ian Rankin books. You niche down, you pick up all your bread and butter, your regulars, you know what you get, but that doesn't mean that you don't find the odd good item, above value item, semi-banger. And that's what this next one is. I've got a few copies of this, Nabokov, Lolita. It's a book that's been about for a while. There are lots and lots of different editions, and typically sells for £3 to £5. It's not a special book as such, but when I got this one, it's an older edition. I mean, 40p is what it cost initially, so that tells you straight away that it ain't a new book. If I got a public date, 1974. Yeah, I think I showed you this, guys, the other day when I picked it up. So 50 years old this year, this little paperback. And when I went in and looked, I could not find that cover anywhere. Nowhere online at all could I find someone that had that particular cover. So instead of listing it for the usual £5, I just made up a price. I didn't know. It's a rare cover. If somebody wants it, then they may be willing to pay a bit more of a premium. So I listed it for £16 plus £3.99 postage, in case somebody wanted to bundle it up, you know, they would save in postage. But it sold within just a few days for £19.99. Lolita, Vladimir Nabokov, rare cover from 1974. So a 50-year-old paperback selling for 20 quid. And it is just a rare edition of that book. So even though you've niched down and you've got your bread and butter, within that you do still find the bangers. So it's not a case of, well, all you're ever going to get is, let's talk, I always use jeans as an example. You know, you're buying jeans for 4 quid, you're selling them for 20, 4.20, 4.20, 4.20, 4.20, which is nice, good consistent profit, and consistency is really key when you're trying to run any kind of business. But within that, you will find the pair of jeans that sell for, you know, 40 quid, £100, £200. That does happen. I've sold jeans myself in the past. I know it happens. Stuff that you don't even realise at the time is worth more. Turns out we sell for 90 quid instead of the 20, 25 that you would have expected, something that had that look about it going. So you do still find the bangers even when you're niched down and you're looking for those consistent bread and butter products. Which takes us to the last couple of orders. And we have Jojo Moyes, 4 Jojo Moyes. So lots of 4 bundles today, which is unusual. Usually somebody manages to find a 5th book, but £11.49 for 4 Jojo Moyes. And finishing on, more Santa Montefiore. This time there's 3, and there's meant to be 3. £9.69 for the 3 Santa Montefiore books. So, see, most of this is bread and butter and makes me a few pounds on every sale. A couple of exceptions: the Nabokov book, the Leo Kessler books, sold for a wee bit more, so I make more on those. A couple of bundles there that are going to be more expensive to post, so I might make slightly less, but it still makes profit, and it just keeps rolling in and rolling in. So, you know, that's why it makes sense to do it this way. So that's today's sales, and 3 reasons. I'm sure there's plenty more pros and cons towards it, but 3 pros for niching down whatever field you want to niche down into. Sourcing becomes much more straightforward and easier, and here's a key thing around that. In fact, around all 3 of these points, so let's go through the 3 points first. Sourcing, picking and packing, and you still get your bangers. It's great. I mean, it's all in there. If you want to resell as a business, then for it to be a business, it needs to be able to run without you. That's key. Otherwise, you've just created a job, which is not a bad thing, don't get me wrong. If you do this, it's probably because you like doing it. There'll be aspects of it that you enjoy more than others, but you'll be doing it because it's something that you want to do, that you enjoy doing, and it makes you enough of an income, whether that's as a part-time income to supplement a 9-to-5 job or whatever it is. But if you're a kind of everything reseller, then it makes it very difficult to step away from that business at any time and allow it to continue working. If you have niched down, and let's just go with jeans again, yeah. So there'll be aspects of the business that you enjoy. It might be that you really enjoy the sourcing part of it, which, to be honest, most people do. So instead of you having to go out and source and list and pick and pack and post, you could just be doing the sourcing, which may or may not be full-time. And then somebody else can be doing the listing. Somebody else can be doing the picking and the packing and getting the stuff off to the Royal Mail or Every or wherever it is that it goes. So because it's quite straightforward, if you're picking up lots and lots of different various items, and you take them to somebody who's working with you and say, right, list that lot, they're going to have to research every item. They're not going to necessarily have your knowledge. It's going to take a lot of time to build that up. But if you have jeans, then yeah, there's 50 pairs of jeans to be listed. All the Levi's go for 25 quid, all the Lee Coopers go for 18, the diesels, they're 35. It can be much, much easier for somebody to go in and do all of that part of it. When you're photographing them, when you're doing these things, you can have a very set, right, okay, so first picture should look like this, second picture should look like this, third picture should look like this, these measurements should be included, and somebody can just go with that and do that for you. The picking and the packing is the same. There's the bags, there's the stock, grab it, bag it, label it, send it. If you really love doing the listing and the picking and packing, then again, it would be quite easy to have somebody else go out and do sourcing for you. Not as easy as others, but you just need a few simple rules rather than, right, go into that shop, look at everything, look it up on eBay, see what the sell through rate is, see what it's selling for, and if it's got X percentage or X amount in the profit, then buy it, plus consider condition. If all you're doing is jeans, I'm trying not to use the books as an example. I'm trying to think of other things. So, you know, if it's the jeans or trainers or board games, whatever it is, right, so you can say, right, okay, condition, this is what good condition looks like. this is what condition looks like that I wouldn't buy, right? So you can give somebody very basic rules and condition. You say, right, here are the brands that you should pick up. Here are the brands that you should not pick up. Anything that sits out with those two, if it's in good condition and it's within a certain price range, then you can take a chance on it and buy it. So somebody can go out and go around those shops and do what you would have done. You're giving them that skill set and allowing them to do it. And as long as you're paying somebody enough to do that, then there's no incentive for them to go and nick off and run their own wee business and steal it all from you. With books, again, it's very easy to say, right, paperback books, hardcover books, this is what good condition looks like. I don't know, I've got a bad condition book that I've dumped around here somewhere. Yeah, that's a bad condition book. See? So any good condition paperback books, pick them up. Any bad condition paperback books, leave them behind. Off you go, grab them. Price points, the same. You know, so say like maximum price that you'd pay for any books, and that's it. And somebody could go out and do that pickup for you. Same with the listing. All of these things become easy. So by niching down, it enables you to have it as more of a business rather than a job. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not saying that it's not a good thing to have this as a job for yourself, because that's where I am at the moment. This is my job at the moment because I don't have anybody else helping me. I don't do enough volume to be able to justify that yet, but the potential is there. It would not take much time or effort to get somebody trained up to do certain aspects of this business so that I wouldn't need to be there. That's really key. The key parts for it to be, so you know, you want to take 2 weeks holiday, but you don't want the business to stop. So you could go with outsourcing, because if you source sensibly, you've always got a backlog of stuff there, and you could have somebody who can, pick and pack, list new items from your backlog as you're there, and keep that all ticking over in your absence, so there's absolutely no impact on your business whatsoever. If you wanted to go and focus on something else, so you've set up your niche jeans store, and now you want to set up a niche lampshade store, then you can put somebody in to run your jeans store, and you can go and start focusing on building your next business, your lamp store, whatever it might be. So important things to think about, and why I think niching down can be a really good idea and works really, really well to create a business rather than a job. Although, like I say, don't knock it as a job, because it's a fantastic job to have. Anyway, I am going out sourcing in a little while. A couple of places to visit on a Sunday. Hopefully find some nice bits and pieces. If I do, I'll come back and share them with you. Otherwise, hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Ended up with a bit of a haul after all. Visited a couple of shops, about 300-ish books in total, and some interesting bits and pieces, some from my own collection and the rest all to sell. But stumbled upon a couple of bits and bobs that are worth a wee bit more than the average, so I thought I would share them with you. The first up, I thought it was a collection of wee mini books when I grabbed it, but it turns out that it's the Faraway Tree audiobook collection, sealed, brand new, never been used, and it seems to sell for about 20 quid. Noodles, including in literally the last couple of days, so that seems like a good shout there. So that was quite nice to find, considering I didn't even realise what it was. Then I got a big bundle of Star Wars books, including this lovely little bookmark that was inside one of them. I'll just set that aside. For the most part, they're all the usual £2, £3, £4, £5 a book. There's a couple that seem to be worth a little bit more, including The Empire Strikes Back novelisation. It's a bit mottled, it's not in great condition, but this seems to be able to go for £10 plus at times, so I'll maybe list that on its own, as well as Star Wars Panini album from 1997. So this one is almost complete. There's only a couple, like the stick and lift sections don't have their stickers on them, but other than that there are literally only, I think, 2 or 3 missing stickers, which is pretty impressive. And these seem to sell anything from £5 up to about 25. So I'll need to do a wee bit more just to see exactly what that's worth as it stands, but that could be quite nice. And there was another one, so somebody's put these in together. This one is a lot less complete, a lot of gaps, a lot of gaps, but it could be another £5 in itself. So those I may list by themselves, along with this dude here, which is missing the art. Oh, wait a minute. It's a Star Wars magazine. Now that seems to sell for anything up to about 20 quid, but that would be with the art prints. It's not a particularly 1997, so all of this seems to be kind of episode 1-ish era, but when I was going through the pile I found the art prints. So there you go, they're in there. So that makes that complete, which is fantastic, and hopefully that means it's going to be the top end of its value. So that could be another 20 quid, who knows. Right, the rest of the Star Wars stuff is all kind of bread and butter prices, £3-4 for the most part, but there's a few things I'm going to bundle up within it. So we've got the Faber and Faber scripts for Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So these go for £3 or £4 each. I think Return of the Jedi maybe stretches to about a £5, but I'll probably just bundle them up for a tenner for the 3 plus postage on top of that. So that's quite nice on their own. A wee copy of Return of the Jedi, which unfortunately doesn't sell for much at all, but I'll list it on its own. Then we have these 3 little dudes. So again, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, 1996. So it's just, you know, the kiddie novelisation. They've been reissued for the whole Star Wars revival back in the 90s. And again, I'll probably bundle them up for about a tenner, there or thereabouts. So that's a couple of wee bundles out of it. We have Revenge of the Sith, the book. Again, it's £3-4 quid, nothing spectacular. That'll go on its own. And Empire Building by Gary Jenkins. So the remarkable real life story of Star Wars, including previously unpublished photographs, which really are just people standing about. Yeah, so again, nothing spectacular, about £4. But just because it was a big Star Wars bundle, I thought I would share. Then we have this lot. It's all Star Wars stuff, including a Tazo Collector's Force Pack. Can hold all 50 Star Wars Tazos. I don't know how many are in there. There's quite a few cards. I don't know if it's a complete set. There's certainly one missing at the front, but other than that, it might be a complete set. I don't know. I may count them to find out. Special Trilogy Tazo. So it seemed anywhere from like £5 up to 20 quid. Who knows? I'll need to do a wee bit of looking into that if I can be bothered. But the rest of them, comic books, scrapbooks, colouring books, the Star Wars archives, annuals, more annuals. So yeah, just a big bundle of stuff. All of it's kind of like £2, £3, £4 each. I think I'm just going to list all of that, possibly with the Tazo stuff as well, as one big bundle, and somebody can get themselves a treat. Maybe just stick it up in auction and let it run. So I'll get that done in the not too distant future. I'll do it before the end of the month whilst I've got my auction allowance left over. But it really is, what's that, the training, yeah, puzzle books, colouring books, there's all sorts in there. But somebody might want it, so I think I will put that lot up as a big bundle and list the other stuff separately. And I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, there's 17 items there. So maybe even a tenner plus postage would make it worth just clearing them out. I got them for practically nothing. I'll need to think about that one. Anyway, that was that big Star Wars bundle, which was, I thought, a wee bit interesting, so I would share. Went to another shop, and I paid up. So my usual buy price, 25 pence, 30 pence a book. Sometimes I'll spend 50p, but I spent a tenner on that one. Naomi Novich Spinning Silver. It's in good condition, but certainly not any better, and that's simply down to the dust jacket. It's a bit bruised and bashed. It is a first print, and anybody that knows that Naomi Novich first prints can get pretty good money, and this is one of them. Good condition, 50-60 quid. In this condition, maybe 25-30 pounds. But every time I've had one of these, it's sold really quickly. So I thought I'm willing to spend a tenner. Even if I sell it for 25 quid, I'm going to get my tenner back and I'll make about £5 profit. So it's a quick turnaround and a flip, and it also brings traffic in because it's a popular title. So I'll do a wee bit more look condition wise, see what they're selling for, and £25-30 pounds. That's why I spent a tenner, because I know it's typically a very quick sale with these books. Not something I would do often at all. I have found one of her books I discovered it because I just picked it up because it looked pretty, in like a 3 for £1 deal, and it sold for over £100, which was very nice. So when I saw that for a tenner, I thought, what the hey, I'm going to grab it and see what we can do. And then I paid up again. So I read Red Rising a couple of months ago now. Really enjoyed it. Pierce Brown's Red Rising. So I've had my eyes open for the rest of the series, and I found that one. First edition of Lightbringer hardcover. So on eBay, £15-20. You know, that's the kind of ballpark. They were looking for £8 for it in the charity shop. It's a really good shop. They do their books 2 for £1 typically, but the girl that kind of manages the book department, she loves books. It's not just somebody who's chucking them out. So she picks out the good stuff and she prices that accordingly. So still half price what it would have been on eBay, £8 paid. Quite happy to do that, because I'm not going to get it cheaper anywhere else, and it's a book I really want to read. But I need to get to it first, because this, I think, is the last one in the series. On her normal shelf, on her 2 for £1, she also had of these two. So that's the two that come before Lightbringer, Dark Age and Iron Gold. So I need books 2 and 3. Those are the two I'm missing, and then I can get on with reading the rest of that series. Really enjoyed Red Rising, and really looking forward to getting into the rest of them. So really, £9 for the 3 books. Works out as £3 a book. It's a lot cheaper than eBay. Well, hell of a lot cheaper than eBay. I think these are like £6-7 the cheapest you're going to get them for on their own. So might have been 15, 22, about £30. So yeah, I paid significantly less than what is the eBay prices. So really glad I got them, and they're for me. Maybe once I've read the whole series, I'll sell the whole series, but that could take a wee while. Another pickup. This was 3 for £1, and again, for my own collection. Tempted to sell them because they are worth some quite good money, but we have hardcover Terry Pratchett, Reaper Man. It's the BCA edition, Book Club Associate. So not the Hodder and Stoughton, whoever it was that published them, but it's 1991, first edition BCA. Sell it for £10 to £15, you know, that ballpark. But I'm keeping that for my Terry Pratchett hardcover collection until I can upgrade it, along with Witches Abroad, which is not a first edition. Actually, did I check this one? This is the Victor Golance, and this is the third impression, so third print. But again, it's going on the shelf. Don't see these early ones hardcover often at all, so definitely that is one for the collection. Delighted to find that, along with Moving Pictures. Again, it's the Book Club Association one, so that's a real one. Victor Golance, Reaper Man and Moving Pictures are both Book Club Association hardcovers, but I don't, well, that's Guild Publishing actually. 1990, I don't mind because they're proper size. A lot of BCA books are smaller, as you may be aware, but these ones are full size, and it's got that proper Josh Kirby artwork on it, which looks absolutely brilliant, and they're in really good nick. I mean, the plus jackets are in fantastic condition. The books themselves are super clean. Only a tiny wee bit of dust along the top edge, which will blow off. Clean. So yeah, cracking finds. So some good pickups. A couple of reasonable value ones to sell, although obviously I did pay up on one of them. I've got another 250, 60 bread and butters, a couple of Bibles, a couple of things that are worth a wee bit more, but nothing significant. So yeah, a nice wee Sunday pickup, but super chuffed with those three for the collection, and really glad to have stumbled on those for my own reading pleasure. Kind of get the feeling, see if I'd been there yesterday, I might have got the full set. Maybe she's still got a couple to stick out. I don't know. I'll maybe sneak back tomorrow and just check, because it's only a 20-mile round trip. You know, why not? We'll see. But yeah, chuff with them. Just need to get books 2 and 3, and I can get cracked on with the Red Rising sequence as well. Anyway, that is us for today. I am now going to go and sit in the sun for a wee half hour, and then get on with some listing, and I've got lots of packing to do as well. I haven't done my packing from earlier on. I just got it all organised, went out, and I'll get that done now. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all these other wonderful things, which are free for you, quick to do, but mean a whole lot to me and the channel. See you tomorrow.